Hello everyone, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see, okay? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
So today we are going to start with the another pseudo class selector, that is input pseudo class selector, okay? So I have created here a new file for that, as you can see here already, okay? And I have created input pseudo CSS. Already that file is linked here that you can see. So any one of you have like prior knowledge on input pseudo class who has worked on this one? No. Okay. Fine. So before starting with this, do you have any question related to the like whatever we have learned in the previous session? Anyone? Neeraj, now your doubt is clear. You have asked something in the chat in WhatsApp group.
Yes, I did ask, but it's still not clear. Can you please
Yeah,
give me some
see,
more details?
sure.
Thank you.
So your first question was, if I'm writing body only of type, okay? And the second one was, if I'm writing body space only of type, isn't it? Is that your question?
Yes.
So we have already learned about this, no? Like if we are giving one space at least between two selectors. So this is also one selector, no? Pseudo class selector, and
Yes.
this is type selector. So if you're giving a space between two selectors, okay, or you are combining two different selector with one space, okay, that is what type of combinator it is? Descendant, no? So in first case, you are saying, okay, check whether, because we do not have any space, body is the only of its type in this document or not. Okay, here you are checking for body itself, but here you are saying inside body check whatever type is there, no, whether it is a only of type or not. So I'm going to show you here. Let's
Okay,
say here we
understood.
understood, no?
If there is no space, it means it's directly target that particular
Yeah,
element.
I'm saying, yeah, that
Yeah.
element only. If you are
And
giving a space, means inside that whatever
okay,
element is there.
okay,
If I'm
sure,
going to
sure,
write
understood.
body space P, means check inside body if P is the only of its type.
Okay, understood.
Okay, fine, great.
Thank you.
Any other question, guys? You have anyone? Okay, then we'll start with the input pseudo class selector. So as I'm saying input pseudo class, so we have to take which element? Input type. Okay, so here I'm taking this one. As you can see, input type text. We are, oh no, it is not required. I'll show you this. So on the page, you can see here we have one input type. Okay, isn't it? Normal input type text. We have already learned about this tag in form elements when we were talking about the HTML5 form elements, isn't it? In that we have seen already input type text. Fine. So here if I want to target this element, what we can write? Tag name, input, isn't it? So simply, if I'm writing input, so what type of selector I'm using here?
Types.
Type
Input.
selector, exactly. Yeah. So input is a type selector. We can use class also, ID also in that. Okay. So now I'm going to apply here color. We have already learned about the color property as well. Color I'm going to keep here crimson. So what is the meaning of this one? If I'm going to write simply input, I will target that one and will apply this color as crimson. What will happen? I saved this one. Any
Uh,
idea?
yes,
Nothing.
If we
text.
write some fonts, then the color will be
Text.
crimson, I think.
Yeah, text
Yeah,
color.
then color will be
Text will be.
in crimson color, isn't it? Fine. That is okay. Here we are able to change this color, no? Fine. Now I'm going to apply some border on it. Okay, border on this one. So instead of border, we'll apply background color. Background color, I'm going to take it as gold. Keyword. Okay. So if I'll type something that is color is crimson and background color is gold. Fine. So when I want to keep this one, when this one is enabled, okay. If any text box is enabled on the page, then I want to apply that color. Here also we have two text box are there that you can see. Okay. So when it is enabled, when we are not using any disabled attribute, just to disable this one. Simply, if I will target this one, we have input pseudo class selector that is enabled. Okay. I'm going to save this one. It means both of them are enabled. That's why it is working for these two fields. What if I will use here disabled attribute? What do you think the output will be? Any
The border
idea?
will go away.
No, border I have not applied. So that is the default border here.
I think text will
Uh,
be held.
Normal text box.
So this is the normal one. And this is disabled now. And this one is enabled because here we can type something, isn't it? So this is enabled. That's why these properties are getting applied on the second one, second input box. Okay. When it is working, when any input type is enabled, then color and background property, whatever a property you want to apply, you can. Okay. But for now, I'm just taking here color and background. Okay. Color also I'm going to remove. That is not required. Fine. So we are able to see that here, just we can identify. First one is disabled because I have used here which attribute? Disabled attribute. So this one is not getting applied on the first one. If any text field is enabled, on that we are able to apply. It means this one is enabled. We can type something over here. Fine. So this is the first input pseudo class selector. What if you have to target if there is any disabled, okay, if any input field which is disabled, so then color should be something like this one. We can take no red. So what will happen now? If I'll save this one,
The
first one will be in red
yes.
because we are using here disabled attribute, and second one will be in yellow color, means gold color only, because that is enabled. We are not using any attribute to disable this one, isn't it? So now I'm going to save this. See here what is happening now. Okay. Now this disabled pseudo class selector is working now. When it is working, if you are using disabled attribute for any input element, if it is disabled, then you can target by using this selector. Hey, check if there is any input type which is disabled, apply this color, background color or border, whatever you want. Is that clear, everyone? What is enabled and disabled?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, I'm going to apply here read only. Okay. Read only. One sec. Here we have two text fields. Second one is read only and first one is normal field. Okay. So I'm going to target here input read only. If there is any input element which is read only, then background color should be red. So what will be the output now?
Only this read-only text box will have a background color red.
Red. And how about this one? First one. Second one is read only. First one is
Normal.
normal, as you can see here. So we are able to target that field which has this read only attribute, isn't it? Is that clear now? What is read only? What is disabled? What is enabled?
So, sir, input read only means what it will be like considering it the type.
See here, this is read only, so you won't be able to type anything here. If
So
I'm
is there
giving
any
here,
difference between disabled and read only? I think both are the same.
no, both are not same. I'm going to show you that as well. So see here, if I'm giving here value, okay, read only, okay. So here, this text is like a normal text field only, isn't it? Are you able to see any difference here by seeing these two, except that background color? No, no.
No.
Here we can type something. This is a normal text field, but here if you'll try to click and if you'll try to type something, this is read only. You have a normal text. Now, if you will go with the disabled one, no, that will be kind of muted. Okay, one thing I'll show you here. This is a kind of muted text field. Okay, that is disabled. You won't be able to do anything. And even if you remember when I was explaining you this one, tab index will not work for the disabled field. If you have multiple fields and you are just going one by one, if you're switching from one field to another field, so tab index will not work for the disabled field, whatever field you are using, if it is disabled, and tab index will work for the read only. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So it is going to target the read only element only. Is that clear, everyone?
I have a sorry. read only application part, like because generally input is to like for the interactive element. So
I
how
will
the
tell
read
you.
only?
See, read only means when you are working with the accessibility thing, no? So every time in accessibility, if you remember, I was telling you, like I was repeating the same thing. If you'll press tab, okay. So every time it will switch, means one by one, it will go to the here. If you are by default here, if you are pressing tab, so whatever text here you have, it will read out. Okay. Again, if you'll go next, again here it is coming on the read only field. Again it will read out whatever text is there. But if you are using disabled, no, disabled, and even though in that field if you have any text, a screen reader is not going to read that one. You know why? Because if it is disabled and you are going to use here value as, let's say, this field is disabled, okay, so here if you will switch, no, directly it will come here, it will not go here, and it is not going to read out also whatever text is inside that disabled field.
But if you apply read background color for only to the read only, it also apply for the disabled field also.
I'm coming to that word. That's why I'm commenting this one, because I
Okay.
have one attribute, next attribute I'm saying, pseudo class selector, which will work like enabled. Okay, that I'm going to explain you. Don't worry about that. I'll come to that also. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're asking like why it is working for disabled also, because here we have read only selector, no? Read only pseudo class selector. Why it is working for disabled? Is that your question? No?
Yes, yes.
I will explain you. So you got it? Like why disable? What is the difference between disabled and read only? Even if you don't want to show this one, like for the screen readers, not to read this field, then you can go with the disabled attribute. But in case if you don't want to interact with this field, but still you want to the screen reader to read out whatever text here you have, then you can go with the read only field. Is that clear? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So next thing is here we have after this one, input type text. Okay. So here we have two different text fields and both are like normal one. Now I'm going to target these two fields. We have seen how many selectors till now? Enabled, disabled, read only. Now I'm going to target a field, okay, input, read write. We have read only, no? Now read write, where we can read and write, means we can type something, and then background color, I'm going to apply here red. So it is working for these two, no? These two fields. So what is the difference between input type enabled as well as input type read and write? You might have this question, no? Because for enabled also it will work. And again, for read and write also it is working. Correct?
So it
If
is
I'll,
same.
no, not same. Here in this case, you can target this one. Okay, you can target this one, but if I'm going to copy and paste this one. If input type is enabled, background color should be gold. This one is also working in the same way, no? Isn't it? You are able to target these two fields and you are able to change the background color with the help of enabled pseudo class selector. And same thing we can do with the read and write pseudo class selector, isn't it? So what is the difference here? Now, I'm going to add here one paragraph. This is read only paragraph. Okay, here we have a paragraph. Can you type anything here in paragraph?
No.
No. But what if you want to type something here at the runtime? What you have to do?
There was something that you taught in HTML. I think I'm forgetting, but we can type.
Content editable true. We can make this one.
Yes. This was the one.
So here we are able to type something. Okay, so this one is also enabled. No. Now we are able to type here something. No. But if it is enabled, even though we have applied content editable true, then background color is why not getting applied to this paragraph? Because enabled we can apply just for the input type element, okay, which has a default behavior where we can type something, okay. But explicitly, if you are going to change some read only element into read and write element, that will not work for that particular element, as you can see here, isn't it? Is it working? Enabled pseudo class selector is selecting this paragraph? No. Even though if it is enabled only because I'm able to type here. So is that clear? When enabled will work? Enabled will work for any input element, okay, which is not disabled, or if you will apply here simply read only. See, for read only also it is not working. Even if it is read only or disabled, enable will not work for that particular here. See, one second. Read only, for read only it is working. I'll tell you why. So here enable is working for read only, but for disable it is not working. Now I'm going to add here again one input type, a normal text. This is also enabled. I'm not using any read only attribute here. For disabled, enable will not work. For read only property, sorry, element, it will not work even though if you are using content editable true. Now, instead of this, what if you are going to use input read write? Here input read write means it will work for input. Now I'm saying first I'll show you here read only. So why it is working read only for each and everything? Because HTML element itself is read only. You cannot interact with that directly. Now, if I'm going with the specific one, check if paragraph is read only. So right now paragraph is read only. Tell me. Here we can type something. So this is not read only. Now if I'm going with this one, enabled, it is working for paragraph. Tell me. Enabled is not working even though we can type anything here. Now I'm going to use here read write, it will work. So read write will work for all those elements where you can interact. Okay, now I'll show you here. The first element is read only, second one is disabled. Okay, so for read only, if I will use here simply for paragraph as well as for input also, I'm going to show you. So see here, this is not working. Read and write is not working for disabled as well as read only. So what is the basic difference here? We have read write and read only or enabled that you can see. Are you getting here? Even if I'm explicitly changing this read only property with this content editable true, we are applying this attribute, then read write is working for that particular element. But if you will use instead of this, if you will use, one second, I'll remove this one. Instead of this, if you will use enabled, it is not going to work for paragraph. Even though if it is enabled, you are able to type this. Now it is not read only. So enabled is not working here. Read only will not work here because now it is, one second. If I'll remove this one or will make this one as false, see, now we have background color because this is read only. Paragraph is read only. We are able to apply that one. If I'll toggle this one again to true, now this one you can see here we can read and write. Okay, we are able to type something in this paragraph, so that's why it is not read only, that you can see. Enabled, one by one I will show you now. Tell me, enabled will work with this one or not?
Not.
Enabled will work with the
Paragraph.
input element only. Paragraph it will not work. I'm using with the paragraph, no?
Yes.
Okay, so enabled is not working with the paragraph. Okay, read only, it will work if you are using content editable false or you are not using content editable property, means attribute, then it will work. You will be able to change the background color. So I'm going to use here, this is another para. Here we have read only paragraph. Here we have like read and write option we have because we have enabled the content editable true. Now I'm going to show you that as well. We'll come with first paragraph, then we'll go with the input type. Don't worry about this. So simply I'm going to target paragraph. We'll check with the enabled. Okay. BGC red. Enabled is working for paragraph. No. First one is enabled, still it is not working. Fine. Second, here we have, if we are using read only, it will work for this one or not?
Work.
It
No.
will not work because this is not read only. It will work for this one because this is the read only paragraph, isn't it? For first one, it will not work. And for second one, it is working. Is that clear now? Enabled and read only. Everyone for paragraph.
Yep.
Okay, fine. Now, next one here we have disabled. So do we have any paragraph which is disabled? No. So it will not work in this case also because disabled property, if you will use here, no. Let's say for this para, it will not work. See here. It is working or not? It is not working here, even for this one. See, we have applied here, no, disabled. It should be a muted text. So disabled will work always the element which is interactive, okay, where you can type something that you can disable. Is that clear? So disabled is not for the paragraph. So here we have seen enabled, read only. Now I'm going to show you here read write. So this one is going to work for any paragraph or not?
Yes.
It will work for which paragraph?
Content editable true, that will work, I think. Where
This one.
content. Yes, this one.
Okay, so here it is working. So for paragraph, read and write and everything is clear now? How it is working? Enabled is not going to work for simply. Enabled is not going to work for any read-only property where you are using content editable true. Okay. Explicitly we are changing this read-only property to where we can like read or write, isn't it? So if you are changing explicitly, enabled will not work there. First thing. Now I'm coming for the input part. Input enabled. Okay. Input enabled background color crimson. So here first one and the last one, if you will see, first one is read only and this one is, here we are not using any attribute, normal. So enabled means where your tab index will work. Okay. Tab index is working for these two input elements, no? It means you can interact at least with the tab index with these two elements. But how about the middle one? Can you interact with that one? Is that enabled?
No, tab
that
will not work.
is disabled, no, because you are not able to switch directly from here to here, isn't it? So in that case, it is going to check for read only also, because tab index at least working for this field, no, this field, this is read only. First one you see here, the first one is read only, but still tab index, when I'm pressing tab, it is going to that field, read only field. So it means it is enabled. Got it? So enabled will work for read only as well as for the normal text, but not for the disabled. Okay. Now you can have another doubt. How about disabled then? Okay. Input disabled BGC red. Okay. Yeah. So is it working for read only? See? No, it is working for just disabled field. Clear? This one is also clear, no? If you are using disabled, enabled will work for read only as well as a normal field, because you are able to switch from one input element to another one. But tab index will not work for the disabled. So that's why this query selector is not going to target that disabled element. And here disabled means only disabled element it is going to target, where you are using disabled attribute. Fine. Now how about read only then? Input read only BGC red. So why it is working for these two? So whenever you will use read only, no, so read only means the disabled is also read only, because you can read that out. Paragraph is read only, it is going to target paragraph also. If you will target directly, if you'll remove this one input, if you'll put here star, or if you'll remove that also it is going to target HTML also, paragraph also, body also, that I can show you here. See. Okay. If I'll check here, P is read only. Yes, this one. If I'll check body is read only. See. Are you getting my point? So read only is going to check for disabled for any read only property, or here you can see for this one also it is getting applied or not. If I'm removing this one, input, it is working for disabled also. That you have to remember. The main question they might ask you in interview, why we are using enabled as well as read write. So enabled, you can say enabled will work for just the input type element where we can at least interact, but read and write will work for all the elements, even if it is a read only and you are going to make this one as like read and write thing, you can enable by using what? Content editable true. Then also it will work for that element. Is that clear everyone now?
Yes.
If you have any question, you can ask me. Till here.
Sir, in read and write, can disable use the color, background color, or not?
Background color, yes, you can. You can.
Read and write.
In read and write, you can.
Can you show again? Read and write background disable.
Sorry. Here we are able to apply now for
Back-
read and write.
Yes, yes.
If you will remove this one, so it is going to work for this one also and for this one also, because this is the read only. Here you cannot type anything.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other question? No. Or yes?
No.
Okay, fine. So now the next pseudo class selector is placeholder shown. Okay. So for that one, I'm going to comment all these things. We'll use here input and then one label. Your email. Placeholder, your email. Okay. And here we have for attribute. For attribute we use for what? Instead of email, we'll type name, no? Or let it be email only. Here we will change the type. Okay, fine. Yeah, so for what purpose we use for attribute? Anyone can tell me now?
Whenever you click on the label, it's point to this.
Yeah, it will focus on that one exactly.
Kind of title or heading.
See,
for
yeah, your title, but here for attribute is you are saying, okay, this label is for whatever ID value you will pass, no, for that particular element. So here we have ID email and the same value you have to pass here. That we have seen already in HTML5, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you will click on this label, this field is getting highlighted, that you can see. Fine. So the simple structure here, we have input and label. Fine. So now the next one here we are going to learn about, that is placeholder shown selector. Okay. So simply I'm going to target the input field, because where is the placeholder? In input field, no?
Field.
So if placeholder shown, I'm saying at that time, border should be 1 pixel solid green. Okay. So right now you are able to see by default the green color. Fine. Now here I'm going to use placeholder shown. Are you able to see the placeholder? Right now placeholder is there or not?
No,
No.
because you have written something right
Yeah,
now.
so when it will be visible, no, at that time you will be able to see the border that you can see. That is the meaning of this one. Placeholder shown. When it is visible, placeholder is visible, then you can apply some property on that particular element. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, if placeholder is shown, then what is the meaning of this plus operator? What type of combinator it is?
Sibling.
When it is visible, placeholder shown means when placeholder is visible, then immediately after label, what opacity property you have seen, no? What is the meaning of opacity? If I'll apply here 0, what will be the output?
Kind of transparency, decrease.
Simply I'm writing this one, input plus label. What is the meaning of this? So what type of selector
Sibling.
it is? It will work for sibling, correct?
Sibling.
What type of compound selector it is? Combinator it is. All of you forgot. This is adjacent, next sibling select, isn't it? So what I'm saying here, check if there is any input type, and immediately after that, target the label if there is any. So do we have immediately after input field label? After input field, do we have label?
Yes.
Yes, your image.
So it is going to target, no? So color red. It is working, no?
Yes.
So now what I'm saying, for this particular element, if placeholder is visible, then immediately after that label, color should be red. So if you'll start typing something, now placeholder is not visible, no? So color is normal black. But if you will remove, what is the color of this label?
Red.
Red.
It's not sure.
Okay, now we are able to change the color. Fine. So same thing I'm going to do here. Opacity 0. Opacity 0 means it is transparent, no? So whenever placeholder is visible, you won't be able to see here your label. Once, if you'll start typing, 1 second. So this is 0. So I have to make this one again label as by default opacity 1 we have to make, no? So here it is 0. When placeholder is visible, what I'm saying, check if for this input type placeholder is shown means visible, then immediately after that, whatever label is there, no, opacity should be 0, means that should be transparent. Once if it is this, the placeholder is not visible, show that. Okay. So here immediately it is coming, no? So we can add one smooth animation also. Transition 0.5 second. See, smoothly it is coming here. It is going smoothly, no? So instead of this one, we'll paste here. See how it is going. Don't worry about this transition. We have a separate like module for this one, animation and all. We'll see. But I'm showing you here what you can do with the help of placeholder shown pseudo class selector. If it is visible, then show something, and if it is not visible, then you can toggle something else. Okay, like that, what you can do, if placeholder is here, I'm going to apply border 1 pixel solid red. This color. So here for label it is, you can see the border is green. Once if you'll start typing, border is red. So anything you can do here, you are applying for this label, no? Now what you can do, instead of this label directly, you can apply for the input also. Here we have green. If you'll start typing, we have outline also, no? So outline I'm going to remove for now. Then you will be able to see. Start typing, then it is red. So you can do like any type of styling by using this placeholder shown. Now you got it, no? When to use placeholder shown? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, after this placeholder shown, pseudo class selector, we have let's say here we have input type radio, okay? And name I'm giving here as gender. Here we have label, okay? Male. Here we have this one. Name is gender again, but here I'm going to change this one as female. Okay. And ID I'm going to give here for this one, male, for male. And here ID will give as female. We have already learned about these things, no, in HTML. So isn't it? We have learned, no, these things.
Yes, ID and
Male,
for both are the same. Both value we keep same value.
where? What you're saying? Sorry, I didn't get you. What you were saying?
No, nothing. I was saying that we give a same value to ID and for, like
Yeah,
male, male.
because here we have to target. This label is for which ID, which element where we have this ID. Okay, for this one. So, and here the next one is we have female. So ID value is here female. So this label is for this one. If I'm clicking here on male, so this radio button is getting selected, that you can see. If I'm clicking on female, this radio button is getting selected. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes. Yes.
Now, here we have BR, and I'm going to copy and paste the same thing here. Okay. Instead of radio, another multiple selection we can do with the checkbox. Okay. And here we are going to write it as game 1. Same value we can write here. And cricket, game 2, same value we can pass here. Okay, cricket, and what is that? Okay, here we have to change the type as checkbox and football. Okay, so till here means HTML structure is clear, no, for everyone. I have not applied any pseudo class selector for this one. The next pseudo class selector here we are going to learn about checked. So do you remember what actually checked attribute is? Anyone?
That is already selected, means default kind of thing.
Yeah, so if I will apply here checked, this is the input element, no? Okay, so here we have radio. So if I'll apply here checked, what will happen?
Male will be default selected.
Fine. Here also I'm going to apply checked. We have seen this one, like if we will apply the same attribute for 2 radio buttons, which is from like the same group, what will happen? First one will work or last one?
Last one will work.
Last one?
Yes.
See, so it is going to override this one. Okay, that you have to remember. So always use by default as one only for radio button. Okay, so here we have by default selected one is male. We can check this one also. Fine. So we have seen this one checked will work for the radio as well as checkbox, isn't it? So we can apply checked for multiple button for checkbox, but checked will work just for like a single element you can apply in one group if you are using radio button. Okay, even though if you are using multiple, last one will work. We have seen that. Fine. Now I'm going to remove this one. So here we have the radio button, and after that, what is this?
Male selected.
We have label, if you will see, isn't it? After input, we have here label. So male is what? That is label, because if I'm clicking here, then it is able to target this. Fine. So now I'm going to target each and every input element. Okay. And then label, color red. So what will be the output? Now tell me. What is the meaning of this one? Input plus label.
Next, adjacent to the input,
So
the
wherever
label
you
will
get
become red color.
The label color will
all
be red.
label or
Like
All
first
label
one.
will be
all.
all.
So here we have all label in red color. Now what I want is my requirement is here, like if I'm clicking here, no. So if this field is checked, no, at that time this one should be in green color. Okay. So what we have to do is we have here one pseudo class selector called checked. Okay. So same thing I can copy here and we'll use here checked. So if this input type is checked, color should be teal or green color. This one is checked, no? Okay, I'm going to use this one. So this one is checked, that's why it is in this green shade color, whatever it is. Now this one is checked, so that's why it is in this color. Okay, guys, could you please put your mic on mute? Mute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you can see, no. Now if I'm again unselecting this one or unchecking this one, so post this selection of this one, here we are able to see the color is also getting changed for that particular label. So how it is working, you can see checked. So checked will work for which one? Either radio or checkbox. Is that clear, everyone? How it is
Yes.
working?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
If you want to put them in so horizontal lines, so what to do?
Where horizontal line you want to put?
No. The every element like male, female in cricket, football, those all are in now vertical lines, huh?
Okay, yeah. So you need to remove this one, no? Break I am using here.
Okay, can you show me how it will be work? Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Now we have one more pseudo class selector. Here we have seen checked. Okay. Another one here we have that is indeterminate. So indeterminate will work just for the radio button. Okay. So indeterminate state is nothing but when no fields are selected by default. That is the indeterminate state. Okay. So this is the indeterminate state. I'm saying here, if it is indeterminate, then immediately after that color should be in red. Okay. So as you can see, this is not working for radio button. Now here we can take this one. If it is indeterminate, means none of them is checked or selected. Okay. Then color is red. If I'll select this one here, then first one is in green color. And now if we have selected any one of them, like then it is not in indeterminate state, because here we have selected at least one of them. Okay. So if you want to just change the color or whatever you want to target by using this indeterminate, means if you have multiple radio button and you have to select just one of them and none of them is selected by default, that state is known as indeterminate. Everyone is that clear?
No, sir. Sir, one more time.
Fine. Right now we have two radio buttons. First thing you need to remember always, like indeterminate will not work for the checkbox. So forget about these two things. Here we have these two radio buttons, no?
Yes.
Any one of them is selected by default?
Check.
Let me comment this. Here we have two radio buttons, no? What is the by default color of these two labels? Black.
Black.
And
Black.
so by default, do you have like any radio button as selected, checked?
Checked.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Both of them are like empty. We have not selected. So
Okay.
this state is known as indeterminate state. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Now I'm saying if it is not selected, any one of them from the same group, then label color should be red. Okay.
Yes.
But if it is checked, okay,
Yes.
then see,
sir.
the another one is also getting changed here, because now this is not the state we were targeting, indeterminate state. We have selected any one of them. So here, see, if I'm selecting this one, the Next level color is in green color, and the by default, which is not selected in by default color, because we are not targeting any label directly and we are not changing the color, isn't it? So that also we can do here. Label color should be, let's say, crimson. Okay, so label color should be crimson, but it is, you can see, in red color. This is not crimson because this is indeterminate state. Once if we will select any one of them, see, now we have selected, so this is checked. So checked label, you can see here we have green color, and normal label color should be in crimson color, that you can see it is. And if it is in indeterminate state, then both label are in red color. Is that clear now,
Yes.
everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Fine. I'm going to use here again input type number. Here we have input type number. We can increase or decrease something. Fine. So the next pseudo class selector we are going to learn for the input elements, that is valid and invalid. Okay. So simply I'm going to target here. We have just one input element on this page. So target input element and check if it is valid. Okay, if it is valid, background color should be lime green color. Okay, and check if it is invalid. No, at that time the background color should be crimson. So right now it is valid. By default it is valid. Okay, and background color is green. So in input type number field, anyone can tell me, like, in input type number field, can we type any letter?
No.
We can.
I think exponential E.
Yes,
That can
yes,
be written.
that we can type. So if I'm typing 5, it is invalid or valid? By seeing only you can say it is valid. That's why it is in lime green color background, isn't it? Now I'm going to type E. So this number is not valid, because after exponent also we have to type some value, isn't it? So 5E means 5 into 10 to the power what? So we have to pass at least any value here, then only it is valid. That is 51, no? 50 actually. 5 E1 is 50. Okay. So here if you are going to type 5E, so this is invalid number. So in that case, the background color is what? Crimson. So we are able to check no here whether it is valid or invalid, isn't it?
Yes.
Fine, fine. Now the next thing here we have after this one.
Can we type any other alphabet over there?
No. Here we cannot type anything except E, because E is a valid number, because here if you want to provide any exponential number, scientific number, let's say you are going to write 10E 10. So this is nothing but, here you can see 10 into 10 to the power 10. Okay. 10 E2 means that will be 100. Sorry, 1000. 10 to the power 10. 10 into 10 to the power 10, I think. No, 2, I think. What I have written here, 1E2 means here we have 100. Okay. So that is the exponential number.
Okay.
Okay. So that you can type here. That's why it is allowed. 1E2 means 1 into 10 to the power 2, how much it will be? 100.
100.
And 3 is 1000. So here see, it is starting from, your voice is breaking. Hello. So here we have seen about the like valid and invalid pseudo class selector. Next pseudo same pseudo class selector I'm going to apply on input type email. Now see what will happen. Okay. Placeholder your email. Fine. So now I'm going to type here. By default, it is in green color. Background is in green color, no? I'm going to type something here. I started typing. This is in background in crimson color. So it is valid or invalid?
Invalid.
Well,
When I'm hovering here in tooltip, can you see what message it is displaying? Please include an @ symbol, okay, in the email address. Still invalid, no? @ I'm going to just type after this @ rule 1 character. Now it is valid. So the default validation for this email field is, as you can see here, we have means it at least expect one @ and after that one character, then only it is valid. So still we are able to validate this one, no? Whether it is valid or invalid without any JavaScript, isn't it? Now, if I'm removing everything from here, so there is no content in it, but still it is showing me it is valid. So this is not the expected behavior, no? Isn't it? When there is nothing, then also it should show me as invalid, because now instead of this one, if it is valid, border should be 1 pixel solid green, or instead of 1 pixel, just for demo, I'm going to take it as 5 pixels. Border 5 pixel solid crimson. So right now it is showing me as like this is a valid, that's why the border is in green. Once if I'll, okay. Input, I'm going to remove outline, okay. Outline none, save. So if I'll start typing, the border is in crimson color. We'll add the @ rule, then see it is in green color. If I'm removing now everything, again it is in green color. So if this field is empty once you started typing something, so that should be in crimson color only. So for that reason here you have to use required attribute. Now see it is invalid because it is expecting to enter the email ID in this field. So you cannot leave this field empty. At that time, if you will fill the email ID here, then only it is in green color, the border you can see, otherwise it will be invalid only, even though if you are removing something from it. Is that clear, everyone? Even you can add pattern also here. Pattern attribute we have seen, no? So as per that pattern, this valid and invalid will work. Clear, everyone? What is valid and invalid pseudo class selector? No response.
Yes.
Clear?
Can you briefly go again?
See, when we use valid, we target any input element, and as per the pattern or whatever type you are using, okay, based on that, it is going to check whether value is correct or not. Okay. If it is valid, on valid class selector, you can apply whatever you want to you can apply that property of CSS. On invalid condition, you can apply whatever property you want to apply on that particular element, just to check that. Question? Any question? No? Okay, fine. In form element, whenever you want to validate any field, then you can use valid and invalid. Okay, on valid condition, we can use regex without JavaScript. Yes, Murali Krishna, we can use regular expression without JavaScript. We do have you attended my HTML5 session? We do have pattern attribute that we can use inside input element.
I think we can do a lot of things by just CSS only. It appears like we are using JavaScript.
Yeah, so most of the time you can use CSS only for the validation, for animation, so many things you can do. Okay. Now the next thing here we have after this one, another pseudo class selector in input type. I'm going to take here is as input type as number. Fine. I'm going to target this one input. Okay. Background color here I'm going to take again it as lime green or lime color. Fine. And here I will use crimson. So last one is getting applied. I will tell you like what exactly I'm going to use. The first one we have seen here, valid and invalid, no, for numbers. If you are trying to type something which is not valid, then it will give you error. Okay. And based on that, you can change the color also by using CSS. Fine. So now here we have number type. Okay. Number type. And the next pseudo class selector which we are going to see here, that is in range. If you are in range, then background color will be lime. If you are out of range, then the background color will be crimson. So how range will work? By default, it is working here. Like you can see, this is in range. So see, if you want to check that one here, you have to pass two attributes like minimum range here you have to give, let's say it should be 10. And maximum here it should be 20. If you are in this range in between the 10 and 20, see, once if I'm starting, it is starting from where? 10 only, no? So minimum value here is 10, that we have seen already, min and max, how it works. So if you are between this, you can see it from 10 to 20, the background color is green, because here you have already applied this one. If you are in range, background color is lime. If I'll click here up or down, so it is not going below 10 because the min limit is 10, max limit is 20. But we can type here something, no? So this is out of range. Okay. So you got it, like how it is working, out of range and in range.
Yes.
Okay. If you will type here 2, then this is again out of range, because our lower limit is here. You can see for this number is 10 and upper one is 20. If you will be in that limit, the color will be lime, because here we have applied. You can see in range, it will be lime. If you are out of range, crimson. No question here. If you have any question, you can ask me. No question?
No, sir.
Fine. Next one. I'm going to take again one input field here. And again, input field here. We have two input fields are there. Okay. So if I'll ask you which one is optional, we have two different input fields. Placeholder, field 1. Which field is optional?
Both are now optional. It's not
Both
required.
of them are optional. If you want to make this one first one as mandate, then first
Required.
required attribute we have to use. Exactly. So I'm going to use this one, required. So first one is required and second one is optional. So what you can do is simply you can target any element in the form, like if it is required, okay, if it is required, border should be red. If it is optional, then the border should be green. So target all those input elements which are required, means required fields, and target all those fields which are optional. So we have required pseudo class selector as well as optional. So here we can simply write border 1 pixel solid red. Okay. And after this one, here we have optional. For optional, we can write simply as lime. Are you able to see the difference here now? Means by using the attribute also we can target any input element. Is that clear?
Yes.
Clear, no?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. So these are the input type pseudo class selector. Okay. That you can use to target any input element. So we are done with the input pseudo class selector. Do you have any question till here? No. Fine.
I have one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
If we are typing something in field 1, so will the color be will the color change to something else?
This one?
Yes.
No. That you can do with the help of like valid and invalid thing. Okay. So if it is required, means it is expecting some value, no?
Yes.
Let me tell you. Okay, good question. One thing here we have the first one. So instead of this required and optional, what we can do is we can simply target that input element and we'll check if it is valid. Okay. Border 1 pixel solid green yellow. If it is invalid, crimson. So right now, what I'm going to do is we'll remove first outline, then you will be able to see. So first one is required, no? I'm going to remove the second one. Here we have this one. This is the required field, no? So it is expecting at least one character. Now see, this is in green color. Fine. What if you are going to add here one condition? No, min length should be at least 15 characters. Now, if you will start typing here, so until and unless it is not going to reach that number, it will be invalid only. So now see, this is invalid. Now it is valid. Got it?
Yes.
So you can do this kind of validation by using valid and invalid thing. Is that clear, everyone? So no need to use JavaScript for these kind of things. Simply you can go and you can use this pseudo class selector. Fine. Any other question? Anyone? No question. Fine. So next one here we have next pseudo class selector. That is not the part of this one, but I'm going to explain here only. The last one for this one. Then we will have like logical combinator, that also I'm going to show you. So here we have anchor element and link okay. Here again br, and after this here we have paragraph. This is para into three paragraphs, 3 links. Fine. ID para 1. For second one, ID para 2. And the last one is ID para 3. Fine. So if you want to target this paragraph, when I'm clicking this link, what you have to do? We have seen this one, no? We have to add one hash and then ID. Hash, then ID. In HTML, we have already seen these things, isn't it? To target that particular element. Okay. So here, if you are clicking on this one, so it is going to target this paragraph. That I can show you here. See, it is coming here for para 1. Para 2 means it is targeting. That's why it is scrolling automatically. Fine. We have one pseudo class selector called target. So whatever element will be targeted, no, that element color or whatever you want to change, then you can do that. So here simply you can write wherever we have the targeted paragraph, change color as we can take here white, and BGC I can take here as indigo. Okay, we'll apply some padding also, then it will look good. Let's say 1 time. So this one is by default, if you will see, this is the targeted element. If I'll click here, where it is targeting? Second para. If I'll click here, it is targeting third para. So have you seen like tab kind of thing? Tab in the page. So without using JavaScript, you can create tab like effect here. You can see if you are clicking, just first one will be visible, rest everything will be like hidden. So that also you can do. So by default, what you can do here, let's say, just I'm showing you here that that is possible. Display none. Let me try this. The target element should be in display block. See here, the one which you are targeting, that is visible, rest everything is hidden. See, so without using JavaScript, you can create tab also. If you will decorate these things as a tab button, like tabular button, and you want to show like one by one only that particular area, then you can show that one. No, you can target only para or any element we can target. Muli Krishna, we can target any element. Instead of this para, you can have div also. Okay, just ID you need to pass for that particular thing. So no need to use here JavaScript for this simple thing. Like if you want to just create a tab, see how it is working. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
So this is the last attribute which we have seen. Sorry, pseudo class selector, not attribute. Target one. After this one, we are going to see here logical combinator. We can apply any animation. Yes, we can apply animation also. I will show you that as well once we will learn about the transition and media. Sorry, keyframes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
When I press display none, like when I write that tag, all my this is para 1, 2, 3, all are gone.
Because no, nothing is targeted by default. No.
So
once
if
if
I
you
target, like if I click on link 3, it should have supposed to see there, right, on the page.
Yeah.
It's not coming. So display none. I didn't get that.
So what you can do is like display none. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will explain you about this one. Don't worry about this. Just I was showing you like how target will work. Display none means I'm saying whatever paragraph we have, no, that should be like display none. Okay. Whatever paragraph I'm targeting, that only should be visible. So that's why here on that particular paragraph, I'm writing here display block. Have you written this one, display block, in your
Oh, yeah, I
target?
write that now. So the only one I'm pressing the link that's showing now. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Any other question? If you have, like you have seen, no, how many things we can do without using JavaScript. We have that feasibility in CSS only, but smartly you have to use that one. No need to write this validation thing and all in JavaScript. If this field is empty, then the background color should be red. So mostly the people write all these logics in JavaScript only. No need to write that.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So if we use this CSS logic, is it faster than JavaScript?
Obviously, because this is the user agent feature which browser is directly providing. And there again, if you will write JavaScript, again, that code will run if you have to download from some file. So that is like performance wise, I can say that is expensive. If you can achieve the same thing from CSS, why not CSS only? If something is like customized, like a functionality you have to apply, then you can go with the JavaScript. Okay, you're open to do that. But in case the same thing, if you can do from CSS part, CSS thing, then go with the CSS only. Okay.
But it's really difficult to remember all the things.
Yeah, that's why I asked you like to practice every day.
I don't know about others, but I don't have to work regularly on this. It's just maybe once in a moon I have to work.
Yeah.
So it's really challenging for me.
Yeah, even you can like I'm also learning this CSS from last 5 to 6 years. Okay, and every day I'm exploring this one. Okay.
Okay.
So whatever content here I have prepared in last 5 to 6 years.
Right.
So
But I
yeah.
haven't imagined before joining your class that these things will be happening only in CSS. Whenever
Yeah.
we think about this, we always first thing comes in mind is JavaScript or
Yeah.
jQuery.
Yeah, so that's why I have shown you in my like first demo session only that code pen thing. I'm still working on that. Like every day I'm creating something new thing in that, some new pen. So whatever code pen I have created, no more than 60 pens are there. I have created by using CSS only. So you can
So
check out there.
right. So can you
Yeah.
give us some assignment weekly so that we can put all these?
See why I'm not giving right now assignment, because once you will be comfortable at least like with the alignment, how to display something, how to hide, how to apply margin, padding. See, I'll give you in the beginning of this session I said like I'll give you assignment weekly, but why I'm not giving you like in HTML what I can give you.
Okay.
In CSS also I can give you that one once I'm done with the CSS. No, I will show you first like how to create project, how to apply margin. Okay, everything once you are done with that, no, then I will ask you to create a portfolio website or at least a landing page, one section at least. To everyone I'll ask you, then you will get the exposure of all those like properties and how to use the HTML structure, nested structure, everything.
Okay.
Till then like you will be like able to write the HTML CSS like easily. Okay, and don't worry about this, like just after completion of this logical operator, we have exercise like 32 exercises are there in front of you only. I will ask all of you to answer that. Like we have 32 exercises. Okay, for selectors, just for selectors. Fine. So now we have another one. Let's say here we have paragraph. Okay, and this is I'm going to create like here 5 paragraphs. For first one, I'm going to write class as para1. For every paragraph, I'm going to apply different class for now. Three, 4, fine. Here we have 5 paragraphs and we have 5 different classes also. So we have seen like how to target any element by class, by element, even like first child, last child, even with the help of algebraic expression, we can target. Tell me if I want to target all these paragraphs, what we can do. And all those paragraphs color should be red. Can we write like this?
Yep.
Color as red, it will work, no? Okay. What if I want to apply just for the second paragraph? What we can do? Nth child we can use, isn't it? By class, also we can target, like here we have para2. So for second one only it is working. Fine. For fourth one we can target. Fine. What if I will ask you, like you have to write just one rule. You have to apply just one rule here, one selector you have to write. And I'm saying you have to apply color red for all this paragraph except second one. Then anyone can tell me like how we can do that? Tell me one thing, like from top, I want to target every odd number, alternate. What we can do, nth child, odd we can apply. Every second element we can target by using nth child even. First target third one, then apply like alternate, or like if you want to target each and every element thereafter, that also we can do. But I'm saying no, I want to target each and every paragraph except second one. Then in that case, what you can do is target paragraph. Okay, target paragraph, color should be red. For each and every paragraph now we have red color. But which one I'm saying not to apply, on which element?
2.
Second one. So here we have one special pseudo class selector called not. As a function you have to apply here, not. So select paragraph, but not select which one? Para 2. It is working, no? It is working, no?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm saying select paragraph, but don't select the first one. What we have to do? Just para 1. So inside not you can pass any selector, whether it is a tag ID selector, class selector, or you can go with the what we say type selector. If I'm simply saying select paragraph but not P, it is not applying for anyone, any one of them, isn't it? Now I'm saying okay, select paragraph but not the first child. See, except first child, it is working for all these elements. Select each and every element but not last child. 1 second. Why it is not working, you know?
Yes.
Because of that emit extension. Okay, so it is not working for the last child. So you can make use of this logical combinator. Okay, fine. Like this you can write. What if you are saying no, I don't want to select first as well as last child, except that all the paragraphs should be in red color. Then so here you have to write now first child. Okay, colon last child. So to separate two different selector, what we have to use?
Space.
Comma. Space is a descendant selector.
Okay.
Combinator. So now, except first and last, it is working for all these three, isn't it? So we can group also multiple element. Okay. Even inside this also means you can write descendant selector if you have any, like target a div which has a paragraph but don't select any other element. That condition also you can write. Okay. So to separate multiple element, you have to keep a separator as comma. So this is the first way that you can write not, but another way is also there. Means I'm saying inside this, no, inside not logical combinator, you can write any selector which we use. And here I'm not using especially like select P, but not first child as P, then first child, because which element we are talking about? Paragraph. So if you will not target that element, by default, it is understanding, okay, I have to select first child for this paragraph only. If I'll give here one space P, inside that, not select any first child as well as last child. So there is a meaning for this one also that we already know, isn't it? So now this is the first way that you can group any element. Another way is also there, like select paragraphs, but don't select first child as well as here we do not have a space again. Don't select last child. This is another syntax. Why I'm showing you this one? Because this is a valid syntax. In interview also, they can ask you like whether it is a invalid or valid. So it is valid. Color crimson. Still it is working, no? In the same way. So you can use any one syntax. Is that clear? You have any question?
Why it was not working for last child? What did you do in inspect?
In inspect, you have to go here and I'm going to refresh this page. In body, if you are running your file with the live server, in body, you will get last child as a script. And this code is injected by, you can see in comment, live server. So you can remove this one. Then it will work. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So last logical combinator I'm going to show you here, that is lang. Tell me one thing, in the same paragraph, if I'm going to use lang attribute as es, is Spanish, lang attribute as en-us, lang attribute as en-gb is nothing but Great Britain, US is nothing but English, United States English, that one, that version. So tell me, I have to target all those elements which has lang attribute. What we can do? Attribute selector. Do you remember that? We have to use here lang. Colored red. It is working for each and every element. Why do you know? It is not working now. You can see why it was working.
Because we have used it in HTML.
In HTML, because of that only. Okay. So it was targeting directly HTML element. Okay. So if it will target HTML, so all these things will be in red color, no? Isn't it? Because for HTML also we have lang attribute. So it is not targeting individually like this one, this one, this one also. Not like that. It was targeting the complete HTML itself. Now, I'm going to target here. Target that element. Which element? Paragraph element which has lang attribute. Now it is not going to target the HTML. See. Clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Now I want to target those elements only which is starting with en. What we can do? Do you remember that one?
Long
Pipe equal to en. So it is working for this is para 2 and this is para 3. So starting with whatever word you will give or the character followed by what? Dash. Do you remember this one? Okay. In the same way, why I'm showing you this one, in the same way we have, especially for the lang attribute, we have this lang logical combinator. Okay. So color, I'm going to make it as green. So target that paragraph which has lang attribute and the value is starting with, if I'm giving E, it is working. No? then en. Tell me it will work or not. Let me change here the color as red only. Then it is working. For all these paragraphs. You know why? Here it is working same as this pattern matching attribute selector. So for the first paragraph, if you'll see explicitly, I have written this one is language as Spanish. But for this one, for this one, for this one, for this one, if you will see the lang attribute, if you will see here we have lang, here we have lang. But for this one and this one, from where it is inheriting? From HTML. And language will be for this one and this one is en only, English. And it is starting with en followed by dash. So it is going to target each and everything. So that's why it is targeting all these four. But what if I'm going to target ES? What will be the output?
First one.
First one only. So same, it is going to work in the same way, especially for lang attribute, you can use this one. Do you have any question?
No.
Okay, fine. So now we are done with the pseudo class selector. Okay, pseudo class selector, I'm saying. I'm not saying like we are done with the selectors. Still, we have to learn. So many things are there. We have to learn about the generated contents, pseudo element, generated content. Then we have a specificity of the selectors. All these things we have to learn. Okay. So we are done for the day. If you have any question, you can ask. One more thing, last thing for today. I'm going to show you here. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going to comment all these things now. Here I have H1 tag. This is heading 1. Here we have H2. This is heading 2. Fine. Then paragraph. This is para 1. Again paragraph. This is para 2. Fine. So if you'll see here, we have one H1, one H2, and 2 paragraphs. Fine. I'm going to create here one class called text red. Okay. Color will apply here red. And now tell me if I'm going to apply here class as text red. Okay. And here also class as text red. So what will be the output now?
This is heading 1 and this is para 1, color will be red.
Red, exactly. Now, if I want to target paragraph now, which has this text red class, how you will target that one?
P descendant selector class and then
No. Descendant, when we use for child only, we use descendant. But I have to select this paragraph itself. See, so what I can do is target paragraph. Okay, target paragraph. Tell me one thing here. If I have one attribute called title, okay, demo, or this is para 1. So what if I'll ask you to select that paragraph which has title attribute? What you will do? You will write no like this. Simply, here we have P, means simply target with the title, okay, and color should be, let's say here I'm going to target it as lime green or lime color. So for this para, you can see we have color as lime. What if for H1 also you have title attribute? This is heading 1. So heading 1 is also in red color, no? But you have to here mention like I want to target paragraph which has title attribute. Then it is going to work for just paragraph that we have seen or not. We have seen no already in
Yes.
attribute selector. Likewise, if you want to target that particular paragraph which has class attribute, one way is that you can write here simply class is equal to text red, okay, color blue. So we are able to target that, no, because class is also one attribute, but I'm not going to use here this one. Simply I'm saying, hey, target that paragraph is dot which has text red, okay. Then color should be aqua. It is working or not? So you are here very specific with the selector, like, hey, target paragraph which has text red class, because we are using dot text. If you will give here p space then text red, means inside paragraph if we have any element with this particular class, target that. But here we are saying there's no space, target a paragraph which has text red class, because here we are using dot. If you have any ID, you have to use what? Hash. Okay, you cannot select like this. Okay, you have to mention here the dot or hash. So this type of selector is known as compound selector. Now we are done with the pseudo class selector. Okay. Now tomorrow we'll start with the exercise. As I said, like we have to practice for 32 exercise, and then we'll start the pseudo elements. We are done for the day. Now we can drop off. Like it's already 11:02. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good night. Yeah. Anyone has question? Fine.